In today's video, I'm going to explain how you can determine if your fat loss has plateaued, and I'm going to explain in detail how to keep fat loss going. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I want to address exactly how we determine if we've kind of hit a sticking point in our fat loss. And I want to give you guys an idea how I, as a coach, make the changes necessary. Now, the question comes from my Instagram direct message, so I'd like you to go there and, well, ask me your questions directly. I'd also like you to hit the subscribe button because that's what makes me happy as a coach who owns a coaching business. And I don't know if you guys know this, I don't talk about it much, but if you go to ProPhysique.com, we currently have 23 coaches that are willing to set up free consultations with you to talk about your goals. All right, so let me read the question and then we're gonna get right into it because I wanna give you guys as much information as I can about how my process as a coach works. So here's the question. How long in weight loss stall plateau do you decide to cut more calories or burn more calories through exercise or a combination of the two? I've stalled at 190 from the 197 in the last 2 weeks. Current stats, 38 years old, 5'10", 190 pounds. Goal weight is 175 at 10% body fat. And I put the calorie intake on the board here. It's 2,300 calories, but it's 200 protein, 240 carb, 60 fat, working out 5 days a week with 20 minutes on the elliptical and 40 minutes of weights. So let's break all this down. First of all, A+ on the macros. I really think these are great ratios. You know, I've told you guys in the past, you can set your protein anywhere in that plus or minus range of your goal weight. So obviously protein's there. It's in a great spot, and I would probably just keep it there throughout the process of fat loss. I would also give the fats an A+ because a lot of people are way low on their fats, but 60 grams of fats is going to give you plenty for digestion, for hormones, to make progress. I also like carbohydrates. You're not afraid of them, and so this is going to allow you to keep muscle. Now it says here you're doing 20 minutes on the elliptical 5 days a week. So let's talk first about how do we determine if you are actually at a plateau. What do? You've hit a plateau. The scale is not moving. Not so fast, my friend. Are you taking pictures front and back? Now, you said you've been at this for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is about how long it takes your body to adapt to a training stimulus. And what happens when you adapt to a training stimulus is you put on more muscle, you put on more lean body mass. Your body starts to actually build on top of itself, okay? That's called hypertrophy. So there might actually be continued fat loss even though the scale is telling you that nothing has changed. So how do you determine if it's actual fat loss? Well, you bust out the measuring tape, right? You can take a few key measurements. For men, it's obviously going to be the waist. That's the big one, the lower back, the waist, the belly. But you can look at other key indicators. How are your clothes fitting? Are you seeing new details in the mirror? If you go to the gym and you see a new striation in your shoulder you've never seen before, that's a good indicator that you've gotten leaner or put on more muscle. Another great way to do it is take pictures. Now, it's difficult to take pictures, but not as hard as it used to be. You can simply put your camera on video and you just hold still front and back. And then when you get your camera, you can just screenshot the front and back pictures and you can compare them week to week. Now, as a coach, what I like to do is take all this information, okay? I like to get information about what's the scale doing. I like to get the pictures. I like to get the measurements. And I also like to get feedback about what's going on in your personal life. Are you getting information from other people that you're losing weight? How many of you guys have started a diet and you see somebody on a daily basis and they finally one day go, what are you doing differently? Your face is leaner. I can see more shape. Those like third party kind of comments are something that really tell us that we're making changes, because especially the people that can see us on a consistent basis, they notice it. We see ourselves sometimes multiple times per day in the mirror. It's hard to notice those changes. That's why the pictures are so important. And this is honestly part of my job as a coach, is to tell people, hey, no, it's working. Sometimes I'll have clients that say, Coach, I haven't lost weight in 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll say, well, look at your picture from 2 or 3 weeks ago. Boom. They go, wow, I didn't even realize. Yeah, and I've also gone down a size on my jeans. All these things are indicators. So before you get too hung up on just the number on the scale, I want you guys to take a step back and look at the other factors. Remember that you can be putting on muscle and losing body fat simultaneously, especially if you're eating and training well. Those are going to go a long way in changing your body composition. So let's assume you've lost those 7 pounds and you're not losing any more. This is your true maintenance now. What adjustments would I make? Well, there's a lot of ways to go about this. And the first thing you have to do is ask yourself, what do you prefer? You know, at each phase of this, as a coach, I have to know how much time my client has in the day, what they can commit to, what they prefer. Taking in less calories requires no additional time. However, you might be a little bit hungrier. You might enjoy your food. However, some people would prefer to eat more but do more cardio. Either tool you use can help you increase your energy deficit. Your energy deficit is what's going to determine if you're losing body fat, moving more or eating less. Now, at this phase, because your cardio is so low and your calories are in a good spot, I would go with a combination. So I put it on the board here exactly what I would do just as an example. Now, you are at 240 carbs, I would bring that down to 200. You are at 60 grams of fat, I would bring that down to 50. So that's a pretty significant drop in calories. I would also add 10 minutes to your 5 cardio sessions, right? So instead of 20 minutes, we're doing 30 minutes. This is going to push us over that threshold and get you into the 180s and get things moving. I've also added 1 day a week a high carb refeed day. Now, 200 grams of carbs is still a significant amount of carbohydrates, but if you're doing training 4 days a week, I'm assuming over time you're going to be getting progressively stronger. Hopefully those workouts are going to continue to get better and you're going to be depleting your glycogen. So whether it's this adjustment or next adjustment, I would probably add in a 1 day a week refeed where we're bumping up the carbs. Like I show here, the fats go down, the protein goes down, the carbs go up. So I put it at 270 carbs for that 1 day, but I did drop the protein down to 190 and the fat down just to offset a little bit of the calories, because the purpose of the refeed here is to restore that glycogen, to make sure our muscles are full, make sure our performance is good in the gym, and it's just nice to have some carbohydrates once a week. It gives you something to look forward to, especially as you get leaner. The leaner you get, the more depleted you get, especially when carbohydrates become the biggest variable in our fat loss phase. So this is how I do it. Now, how long should you wait to make an adjustment? What I typically do is 7 days. Now, I usually focus on competitors. Now, with competitors, we are focused on a date. We have a date. We know we are 13 weeks from stage. We know we are 20 weeks, 12 weeks, 1 week from stage. That can make our decision making a little bit different than a lifestyle client. With a lifestyle client that's got a longer period of time and we're not so focused on a single date or a single look like we are for the bodybuilding stage, I like to focus on more data. Okay, we've stalled, but let's wait 1 more week just to be sure, okay? Let's start to look at some other factors. Is there stress? Is there muscle soreness? Is there a hormone cycle, okay? If you're a female, you're gonna be dealing with the symptoms of a cycle, and what happens? Fluid retention. Fluid causes water retention, increasing sodium, muscle soreness. All these things can kind of mess with the scale. So what I like to do in the case of a lifestyle client is just be a little bit more patient, get a little bit more data, and focus on going, okay, now we're sure. It's been 2 weeks, we're pretty stable, we're not seeing any changes in the mirror in the pictures, we're not getting any tighter on our measurements. Let's go ahead and make that next adjustment, okay? So there you have it, guys. That's how you adjust. That's how you know it's by getting data. And if you're not getting all this data, it's important that you do. And if you're interested in going through this stuff with a coach, hey, go to prophysique.com, get a free consult, and let's talk about your goals. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.